Well, thank you very much for that. Just a few, I know there's a lot of people that don't want to get up and speak, and Gary meant so much to so many. But I got to meet Gary. I knew of Gary as a police officer and moving up through the ranks, and Gary was always quite a bit ahead of me, and I would watch him. And he was a guy that I think everybody watched within the department and kind of wanted to emulate. Here's a guy who was a man's man, a cop's cop. The kind of guy that whatever you needed done, you reached out to Gary and he figured out a way to be able to get it done and done right. I met Gary formally, I guess. I was a new captain, 1998, Southwest Division. I was a new guy. There's 2 captains in each division. This was in South Los Angeles, and Gary was the senior captain. So I got there and go in, and he gives me, I sit down with him, and he gives me his expectations of me, what he wanted to see, what he expected me to do, and on and on. And it was more formal than I thought it was going to be. It was like that stand up straight, firm handshake, and look me in the eye. Times 10. Yeah. But I knew when I left that office, I knew what was expected of me, and I went out there and did the best job I could. And I was only there a short time, and we had one of our gang officers, Phil Cuesta, ambushed and murdered. And I'll tell you, to be able to go through that with Gary as a partner was something that benefited me greatly, benefited the division and the department. The way he conducted himself, the way he dealt with the family, Gary was a guy who got it. And the leadership that he showed through that period, that was a critical period, both in my life, in the life of the division, Southwest, and in the department. That was one that struck everybody to our core. And that was handled with dignity, respect. The tone he set, the gang officers who worked with Phil Cuesta, to this day, stay in touch with the family, get together every August 9th to pay tribute to Phil at a memorial they have in the back of Southwest Station. They do a blood drive so that there's some good that comes out of it each year, and they've never forgotten them. They've been, these officers have been at the weddings of the 2 girls that Phil had that were babies, infants at the time he was murdered, and never have deviated from that. And they do that largely because of the tone that Gary set at Southwest. We take care of each other no matter what happens. And so the legacy there lives on and will live on for many, many years to come. I look at Gary as a mentor, a friend, and somebody that has been an inspiration to me for my whole career and will be my whole life. And I think about and read some of the comments after Gary passed that people, friends, and partners had put on the web about him and their experience with him. And many mentioned him as, certainly all mentioned him as a friend, many mentioned him as a mentor as well. But what struck me was he was the best of us. He was the epitome of what it means to be an LA police officer. And we all have visions of what that should be, what it should look like. And really all we need to do is look at Gary Brennan. I look at the history that he drew that from. The Brennans at the time had 85 years of service to the LA Police Department with members of the Brennan family. There's now another member of the Brennan family who's on the department, working Hollywood Division. I got to meet his folks here tonight, or today. And so the legacy continues, and you know, we all have an ability now, because of Gary, to stand tall and look you in the eye and shake your hand, for sure. But Gary was tough and firm when he needed to be, but compassionate, and somebody who had a heart of gold, and somebody who would reach out to somebody who is down, somebody who is dealing with the worst day of their lives, and make it just a little bit more manageable. So thank you to the Brennan family, to all the friends who are here today, for the role you played in Gary's life and allowed Gary to play in yours. His legacy lives on in each and every one of us here. So thank you all. Thank you for allowing us to do our ceremony today, and God bless you all. Thank you.